In this world, there are things that cannot be explained. Things that hide in the darkness and shadows of every corner. Things unknown. Here, we take some of the most unusual and bizarre videos found online and discuss them with the world's most renowned specialists in the paranormal field. This is The Unknown, Caught on Video.
What we have here is another excellent example of some paranormal activity caught on security camera footage, which, as I know I've stated before, is my favorite kind of evidence, because you can't fake that. That is something that is being recorded by a third party, and just lends so much veracity to what you see in the video.
I believe in ghosts. I've never seen one, but I do believe they are out there.
What we see happening here is telekinesis. It's the ability to move objects with your mind. And this is a phenomenon that's most commonly witnessed in near proximity to aliens.
That jar getting knocked off the counter, this is just like minimal, like beginning poltergeist stuff.
This poor dude. It looks like it's the end of the day. He's ready to go home and just eat some pizza bagels, and then all of a sudden...
Whoa, that was unexpected.
This appears to be in some sort of, I'm not sure if it's maybe a canning facility of some sort, but a man is working alone at one of the machines. These jars here on the table, and eventually one simply flies off.
It looks like he's ready to wrap things up for the day, when all of a sudden this jar with some kind of substance in it just slides right off the table.
This man starts walking away when suddenly this jar just slides right off the table. An alien will do something like this for a laugh. Aliens play many, many tricks on you humans. I mean us. They play many tricks on us.
I'm sensing maybe an older coworker or retiree that died and felt like their past job wasn't being handled well enough.
This jar slides off the table and shatters. It looks like a sauce-like substance. This video is labeled lab incident, so hopefully it wasn't anything that could cause a pandemic.
The man, confused, goes and finds his boss, brings him back, shows him the mess. The boss is clearly upset and does not believe the man's story and seems to eject him from the facility. I don't know if he was fired or merely reprimanded, but clearly the people in charge were not happy here.
This is a lab, so hopefully it wasn't anything that was too dangerous for people to breathe or be around.
When I see his boss come in and give him what for, I start thinking, maybe he's the one behind this. Maybe he's the alien, right?
This certain entity obviously enjoys causing not only a disruption but a dispute between other co-workers, which it makes me feel like it's, you know, obviously like a deceased co-worker of theirs, maybe seeking revenge, which it's very scary to deal with.
Listen, my friends. When July 5th, 1998 finally arrives, you'll know.
And then a third person comes in and begins to mop up the initial mess. When another jar shifts, and he reacts to that and pushes it back to its place, and then cut.
There are some people who actually believe that a Bigfoot creature has the power of telekinesis and can move things with their mind.
We don't know these guys. We don't know if they're both aliens just screwing with each other. This is a very vexing video. I just don't know what happened.
I can only imagine what sort of havoc that this entity creates in the lunchroom.
I haven't heard from anyone yet what this facility is, or where it is, or what happened after that. The evidence that is presented, I think, is very solid as far as confirming the existence of these spiritual entities.
If I were this guy, I'd tell my boss to kiss my ass. I'm out. I'm going to find me Bigfoot.
I just don't know what's happening.
In this case, we don't see any sort of manifestation of a human form, and there doesn't appear to be a religious connection to any of this. I wouldn't rule it as demonic, so I would place it in the realm of a poltergeist.
Clearly, watching the other jar slide towards this man while he is trying to mop up the first one, it's very easy to tell that this specific entity was not very fond of how the man was trying to clean up the first mess.
As stated in some of my theories outlined elsewhere, particularly in some prestigious journals, I believe that poltergeists are often trying to communicate. And that is the reasoning for their disruptive behavior. And I think this one is very smart in the way that it does this, because what it does first is to knock a jar of what appears to be some sort of tomato sauce to the ground, which would allow it to then create a message in that mess, to write something out. It is not given the opportunity because of the man who comes in to begin mopping, and that's when you see the other jar begin to move. I suspect because the poltergeist was going to make another attempt now that the first one was being cleaned up.
I love lab coats. They remind me of Doc Brown. So I like this video.
Clearly, you're gonna pick up the pieces of the jar first, right? You're not just gonna throw a mop on the whole thing and...
If he has interrupted the poltergeist in its attempt to communicate, then what will often occur will be violent, and people may die.
Sloshed glass everywhere. I kind of agree with this one right here. Like, I don't even know what this guy is doing. He's just gonna mop glass around, apparently.
Now, a skeptic may look at this video and say, well, that's something that's easily faked with fishing line and magnets. And these individuals are clearly bad actors who are gesturing wildly in a manner which reflects overacting. But I don't think that's the case here. Their wild gesticulating is merely the way they communicate with each other. Perhaps this would have to be a clip from a factory in Italy. But as it is, on its own, I think it's a very good piece of evidence, very compelling, and certainly opens up a number of possibilities as far as further advancing theories in the realm of the poltergeist.
to the big bird.